Hey YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. This video here is part 2 on this Honda Integra Type R. The first video went right through from the repair stage to primer, also prep work. We then got it in the booth, masked it all up, wiped it down with wax and grease remover, and tack ragged the entire car down. I've then got the base coat color mixed it up to a 1:1 ratio because it is the Concept No Mix base coat. The gun I'm using for this video here is the DeVilbiss SGK 600 BV with a 1.4mm fluid tip on it. So it's also known in other parts of the world as the FLG5. Most of my viewers will be quite familiar with this gun. I've recommended this gun to lots of people, and I'm yet to hear anyone coming back at me saying, "Hey Gunman, what the hell are you doing recommending that gun?" It's crap, because it's not. It's a good gun, and it's definitely reasonably priced. I would say for the price, it is the best gun on the market. Yeah, so you'll get it for under 200 Australian, and the way exchange rates are looking at the moment, American, you'll probably get one for under 150 American dollars. So I've seen them on the internet for £80 if you're from the UK also. But what do I like about it? It's got a nice size fan. As you can see, I'm not having to do 100 passes just to get the bonnet painted. It pumps out a nice amount of fluid. You can also get it in a 1.8. I'm yet to use it in a 1.8 for primer, but I have had a few people purchase it and tell me that they've been quite happy with it for primer, and yeah, I would imagine that it would spray primer quite nice with the 1.8mm on it. It's a very simple gun to set up also, so you just wind that fan right open. That's not to mean you wind it right out, because I found that with this gun you actually can just keep turning that fan beyond where it probably really needs to be. So you wind it right in, and then just have a look at it, how it's spraying your base coat. And when it's spraying evenly at its largest point, well, you just stop there and then go and set your pressure and your fluid. So the fluid, I like to leave that one right out. They're probably a little bit of a downfall, if that. It does feel like it's got a bit of a short trigger pull compared to some other guns that I have used, but it really doesn't, in practice, it doesn't seem to be an issue. It just, when you are getting used to it, it does feel like it's got a fairly short trigger pull, but it does still get a nice amount of paint out in saying that. And yeah, your pressure settings sort of anywhere from 20 to 25 psi, give or take. You know, you might find that in the colder weather the pressure's jumping up a little bit, and you might even need it up to 29 psi. Personally, I would think that's a bit high for this gun, but whatever works. Like one thing I've been saying lately to people who get a little bit confused about the gun settings, I say, well, the settings are there for a reason. Like, if there was one perfect setting for any spray gun to be set at, well, then it'd be set there, and the knobs and the dials wouldn't be there. It'd just be how the gun is set. So depending on what you're painting, the kind of paint you're using, the kind of finish you're looking for, the way you paint, you know, it's going to vary those gun settings. And I just recommend just grabbing the gun and having a play around with it. Get an old panel or something. If you're really that unconfident with a spray gun in your hand, you know, sound an old panel down and see what you can do with it. Try playing around with your viscosities of your paint. You know, if it's going on real thick and orange peely, maybe chuck a little bit more reducer in it, up that pressure a little bit. But that's more for your clear coats and your 2K colors. Your base coat, which is what I'm doing here, you know, you're not really going to be getting any substantial orange peel, and if you do get a very minor amount of it, the clear will pick it up anyway. But yeah, if you're having troubles putting your base coat on, well, then you're probably going to have big troubles putting your clear coat on, because the base coat stage really is the easy stage, I find anyway. This gun can actually be used for clear coat as well. If anyone's sitting at home wondering, oh, is it any good for clear coat? Yes, it's fine for clear coat. Look, it would not be my first suggestion, it wouldn't be my first choice, and I've got enough guns that I don't need to use it for clear coat all the time. Like, if I'm ever painting, say, the inside of a bonnet or the inside of a boot, and you know, you're not looking for a top quality finish on it, and you've already had your base coat through, so all you're really going to need to do is wipe the gun out with a rag and then flush it through with a bit of thinners, put your clear coat in, off you go. There has been one occasion I've painted the exterior of a couple of panels with it. That was actually uploaded to my Raw channel, the Gunman Raw. And yeah, it sprayed them just fine, but it just would not be my first choice for a clear coat gun. Although if you are sort of on a budget and you don't want to go and spend the big kind of dollars that I do on spray guns, you know, this is my job, and these things pay for themselves, you know. Like, to me, $200 or even $500 isn't a waste of money on a spray gun, because they'll pay for themselves within a month or two, you know, in the kind of finishes that you get. And I also just love spray guns, so I like to collect them as well. But yeah, so if you are just sort of DIY guy or someone that's doing it at home and you just want one gun, it will be able to do base coat, clear coat, 2K color. Yeah, it might not be able to do the primer unless you get the 1.8mm set up for it too. I've actually, since making this video, sold this gun, not because it's a bad gun at all, just because I got to the point when I was leaving Perth and I couldn't take all my guns with me, and it just made sense to get rid of it. At the end of the day, I did actually only buy this gun simply for the sole purpose of reviewing. You get to the point in your trade and you've got, say, 7 to 10 guns. You don't need another 10 guns, but as you guys probably already know, I do take this YouTube channel very seriously, and I've invested a lot of money into buying equipment and tools and stuff like that to review and give myself more content. But it was just one of those guns that as soon as I saw it, it just looked good. It had a good feel in the hand. It looked like it was well made, and yeah, as soon as I sprayed with it, I'm like, yeah, this is an awesome gun. And I just yeah, slowly fell in love with it, and it turned into my workhorse. So it's my base coat color gun, my 2K color gun, and yeah, I use it all the time until, yeah, I just left Perth and I ended up it went to a follower, a guy that loved watching my videos, a guy from Melbourne, and his girlfriend got in contact with me and sent me a few emails and said, oh, I'd love to get a couple of spray guns off you. So I sent them over, and yeah, supposedly I was really happy to have a Gunman spray gun. I have done giveaways with my old spray guns in the past, and definitely will be doing it again in the future, especially now I'm in contact with Spray Guns Direct. They've been sending out spray guns simply for the sole purpose of reviewing. They want my honest opinion, and all they ask is that I make a quick mention to who I got them off. So yeah, look, there's only so many guns that one person needs, the spray painter needs, so when I'm done with them, they send a new gun out. You know what, I'll just yeah, send it on to one of you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for a few more giveaways. Also looking into getting some cool stuff like t-shirts, even key rings, pens, or just some cool little merchandise things, and I'll do some giveaways on probably YouTube and also Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out. Now I'm in Thailand, I'll probably be able to find a manufacturer who'll be able to get some at a reasonable price. So yeah, that'll be bit of fun and something for you guys to look forward to as well. But as far as what's going on with me at the moment in Thailand is, okay, I'll tell you the date. So today is the 17th of the 1st, 2016. Now, sometimes there's a little bit of a couple of weeks delay before I upload the videos, and that's mainly because sometimes I get a little bit ahead on my schedule, so yeah, I put up other videos first. So anyway, what is happening for me at the moment is I'm really not happy with the arrangement that I've got with this Canadian guy in Thailand, like the work that I had teed up. The original plan was that we're going to have a spray center here in Bangkok, and that's why I wanted to move over. As you guys do know, I take this channel very seriously, and it would just about go above my living arrangements. So need be, I would move back to Melbourne to work in a half decent spray shop. At the moment, I don't have any real opportunities to get into spray painting, but if I move to Laos, which is the neighboring country to Thailand, there's an opportunity with a YouTube viewer of mine. His name's Dale, and he's from the UK, and he said visas and work permits and all that stuff is a lot easier in Laos. I'm thinking at this point, this is just what I'm thinking at the moment, you know what, I'll forget about Thailand, move up to Laos, do a few months there, 6 months, and just see what it's like, make some cool videos, have a bit of a semi-holiday, and then maybe move back to Melbourne. It'll definitely be cool to document through video what it's like in Laos, a average Laotian panel shop. This Dale guy, he's from Vientiane, which is the capital city in Laos, and he just said, man, the panel beaters over here are amazing. Like, they repair things that would just be, written off and thrown out, and replacing new panels. I've seen some photos of some of the work that they do, and it's absolutely amazing. If you tell a Western, like say anywhere in the Western world, Australia, America, UK, to repair some of the stuff that these guys do repair, you'd get laughed at, and they wouldn't even know how to do it because it's a dying trade. Like my grandpa, he was a panel beater / spray painter, and he told me the stories of, back in his day, of the kind of things that got repaired that yeah, now they're just write-offs and people don't even know how to panel beat anymore. He said they're not panel beaters anymore, they're panel fitters. And I'm more of a bog that car and paint some shit type of a guy myself. I'm personally not that good with a hammer and dolly in my hand. I can do a little bit of basic panel beating, you know, get the hammer in there and smash it out, whack a bit of bog or fiberglass in there, prime it up and paint it. I'm able to put a mean coat of paint over the top of just about anything. Hey, it doesn't mean that I'm not good at doing some of those old restoration style, you know, just average everyday dents type thing, so I'm pretty good with the body filler and primer and paint stage. But yeah, just any heavy smash repairs, not out of my league. And to be honest, I'm not really even that interested in learning it either. I'm just happy with a spray gun in my hand, happy doing prep work, color matching, masking, painting. Forget about the polishing. We can hire an apprentice or a detailing guy to do that kind of thing. I hate it. Just about every painter does. But yeah, obviously it's a part of the job that you can't avoid. Sometimes you do have to do it, but that's another reason you try to get your jobs as clean as possible, so you don't have to do any polishing. An off the gun finish is what absolutely every single painter is trying to get. Well, they should be if they're not anyway. Every single time you should be doing your best to get the cleanest job with the least amount of orange peel, or in this case, to match that orange peel. There's no use in me going and making the parts that I'm painting dead flat with no orange peel at all, whereas the rest of the car's got the factory Honda style orange peel in it. No, there's not. I've got to go and replicate that orange peel and make that finish look exactly the same. But yeah, you're just trying to make them as clean as possible without any nibs or anything. Every single respray I've done for myself on my own cars, I've always left them off the gun. 1 or 2 minor bits of dust in it, I can live with that. And you know what? Truth be told, 99% of customers would live with it as well. I think some bosses and business owners take the whole cannot have one little tiny piece of dust in a paint job thing a little bit too far. And I've even had some people say that their bosses make them sand back every single paint job and make it dead flat. And as far as I'm concerned, it defeats the whole purpose of using 2-pack paint, because the idea is to get it off the gun. You get your gloss off the gun. You also get a finish that is not touched. It's unsanded, so it's not going to shrink back with those scratches within a couple of weeks. So that's our base coat down. I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. I ended up putting just a little bit up here. There was a couple of tiny little chips. Just dusted an ever so slight amount over the top of them. And apart from that, just the 2 coats over the rest of it. It's looking like it's going to come up quite nice. I'm not going to bother about tack ragging. It just looks too clean. When you've been doing this for a while, you just get a bit of a feeling. And I've got a good feeling about this. There's no visible lumps of dust in that base coat. There's no white specks or anything like that. There's no scratches. A couple of tiny little scratches here. But being the color that it is, it's actually not going to matter. The clear will fill that straight up. But apart from that, I didn't use any blending aid, not necessary on a black, dark colors. And I've mixed my clear out using the Standox HS Clear with the standard hardener. So 1525, that refers to the temperatures of the day. You can still use the 515 on a hot day if you just wanted to dry a bit quicker. It's no issue at all. But I'll give you guys a look at the temperature now. So Fahrenheit, we're at 81 degrees, and Celsius, that's 27 and a half. I clocked it at 29 before. It must be cooling down. Nice warm day out there. Sweating my ass off actually. If this was in the middle of winter, that's probably about how I would set my booth. I would try to set my booth sort of anything from 27 to 30. So let's get that clear on. So I'm going to leave it there for this video. This bit here is just a bit of a sneak peek of what you can look forward to in the next video. I'm going to be doing the clear coat with the DeVilbiss GTI Pro Light TE20 1.3mm fluid tip on it, and as you can see there, I'm using the Luma 3 Aurora spray gun light. Yep, it's something a little bit different. I have done a review and demonstration on that, so stay tuned for the next video. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. As always, be sure to go and check out my website. Every single one of these videos does get linked over there, so if you'd like to, you can check out the RRS feed. All the rest of my social media links are in the description below. Now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. Thanks for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.